Why is the one day designed to honor your rest often the very day that leaves you emotionally depleted? Why does a celebration intended to restore mothers so often become another of they must mentally engineer from beginning to end? This is the invisible contradiction hidden inside modern motherhood. Even when the world says, "Today is for you," many mothers quietly remain the project managers of their own appreciation. They choose the restaurant, coordinate the schedules, remind the family about cards, answer the texts, prepare the children, and sometimes even clean the house before anyone arrives, all in pursuit of a day that was supposed to represent relief. By the time the celebration begins, the nervous system has already logged it as work. This is not simply about brunch reservations or gift receipts. It is about the invisible architecture of mental labor. It is about what psychologists call executive functioning, the ongoing mental load of noticing, anticipating, planning, organizing, and emotionally regulating the environment for everyone else. For many mothers, this load never shuts off. It hums in the background constantly, like an operating system running too many applications at once. Even during supposed rest, the mind is scanning. Did everyone eat? Did the children pack what they need? Did someone remember the flowers? Is dinner handled? Is tomorrow's school uniform clean? This is why sitting on the couch does not always feel like rest. The body may be still, but the mind remains employed. Many women have been taught to normalize this state so deeply that they no longer recognize it as labor. They call it just being a good mom. They call it keeping things together. They call it love. And yes, it often is love. But love expressed through chronic mental overextension eventually stops feeling nurturing and starts feeling invisible. It becomes a burden no one sees because it leaves no visible mess. No one applauds the mother who remembered the sunscreen, packed the snacks, coordinated the family calendar, and emotionally buffered everyone's moods before breakfast. Yet without that invisible work, much of family life would collapse into disorder. This is why Mother's Day can feel strangely painful. On paper, it looks celebratory, but emotionally, it can expose a wound many mothers carry silently. The grief of being appreciated symbolically while still being depended upon functionally. You may receive flowers while still answering questions. You may receive a gift while still directing traffic. You may be told to relax while still mentally tracking the entire day. And something inside you quietly whispers, if I still have to manage this, is this really rest? That whisper matters. Because what many mothers are craving is not simply a break from chores. They are craving a break from responsibility. There is a difference. A break from chores means someone else washes the dishes. A break from responsibility means someone else notices the dishes need washing without being told. That distinction changes everything. This is what researchers call decision fatigue. Every human brain has a finite daily supply of cognitive energy. Each small decision, what to cook, what to buy, what time to leave, what child needs what, draws from that reserve. Mothers often spend their reserves before noon, not because they are weak, but because they are carrying an extraordinary volume of micro-decisions for everyone around them. By the time someone asks, "What do you want for Mother's Day?" the question itself can feel exhausting, because now the mother must plan her own joy too. This is the hidden irony of self-made celebration. If you have to design your own restoration, it is no longer restoration. It is another task. And many mothers know this intimately. They know what it feels like to send links for gifts they are supposedly surprised by. They know what it feels like to remind someone to buy the card. They know what it feels like to choose the restaurant because you're better at picking. They know the emotional fatigue of being told, "Just tell us what you want," when what they really want is initiative. Because initiative is love in action. Initiative says, I noticed what matters to you without needing instructions. Initiative says, I carried the mental load so you did not have to. Initiative says, I saw your invisible labor and I stepped into it. That is what many mothers hunger for. Not luxury, not extravagance, but the deeply healing experience of being mentally relieved. This is why true restoration requires decision-free time. Decision-free time is psychologically powerful because it tells the nervous system, you are safe enough to stop scanning. You do not need to anticipate. You do not need to monitor. You do not need to prepare for the next interruption. You are allowed to be a guest in your own life for a while. And for many mothers, that feels deeply uncomfortable at first. Why? Because many women have been conditioned to equate worth with usefulness. If they are not helping, organizing, anticipating, or fixing, they feel strangely unsettled. Their rest triggers guilt. Their stillness feels irresponsible. Their own pleasure feels selfish. This is not personal failure. This is conditioning. Many women learned very early that love was expressed through service. They became the emotional anchors of their homes. They became the reliable ones, the organized ones, the ones who remembered birthdays, packed lunches, soothed conflicts, and prevented chaos. Over time, their identity fused with usefulness. So when someone says, sit down, we've got this, their body may not relax. It may panic. What if they forget something? What if the children need me? What if this falls apart without me? That anxiety reveals just how deeply the role has been internalized. This is why reclaiming rest is not just behavioral. It is emotional. It requires mothers to practice surrender, not collapse, not withdrawal. Surrender. Surrender means letting the towel stay folded wrong. It means allowing the breakfast to arrive late. It means resisting the urge to correct the plan. It means permitting others to love imperfectly. That is hard, especially for women who have spent years protecting the household from friction. But perfection is not the goal. Transfer of ownership is. A truly restorative Mother's Day asks, who owns the day? Does the mother still own the logistics, even if someone else executes them? Or has ownership actually transferred? Because only transferred ownership creates genuine relief. This requires families to evolve. Children can learn to notice needs. Partners can learn to anticipate. Loved ones can learn that appreciation is not only verbal, it is operational. To honor a mother is to temporarily carry what she normally carries invisibly. That means noticing the grocery list, remembering the timing, packing the diaper bag, checking the weather, handling the transportation, managing the emotions, solving the tiny problems before they reach her. That is love translated into relief. And for mothers, the challenge is equally profound. Can you relinquish the clipboard? Can you let the plan unfold without your supervision? Can you allow yourself to be hosted? Can you trust that the world will not collapse if you step back? That trust is healing. Because somewhere beneath the exhaustion is a woman who deserves to experience what everyone else experiences regularly. The luxury of not being responsible. Not because she earned it, because she is human. Mind care is self-care. Means recognizing that mental load is real load. It means understanding that invisible labor still consumes energy. It means refusing to mistake physical stillness for psychological restoration. It means honoring the nervous system's need for true release. And perhaps the deepest invitation of Mother's Day is not brunch. It is permission. Permission to stop. Permission to receive. Permission to be served. Permission to not notice what needs doing. Permission to let someone else hold the day. That is not laziness. That is restoration. And restoration is not indulgence. It is maintenance for the soul. So if you are a mother listening today, ask yourself gently, when was the last time you truly became a guest in your own life? Not a planner, Not a coordinator, not a manager, not a helper. Just a person allowed to breathe deeply, a person allowed to receive without reciprocating immediately, a person allowed to be cared for. That is not too much to ask. That is what real honoring looks like. And if you love a mother, do not just give her a gift. Give her her mind back for a day. That is the rarest gift of all.